Hello and welcome to the Pelican Sports Postgame Show with Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Kreisand. Phone lines, text messages were wide open. Final score from the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Alabama a surge late, 81-66. They were 3-point favorites at tip-off. They win by 15. Jordy Hultberg, your quick reaction, sir.
Pretty good game for 34 minutes. The last 6 minutes, when it's win time, LSU committed too many of their 18 overall turnovers. A 53-33 second half differential. This is our second show we've done, and it's the second verse, same as the first.
In the second half, no defense. A little bit of defense in spots, came out in the zone. Bama's not known for shooting the basketball. Right. Come out in the zone. But as you pointed out to me earlier, okay, play a zone, but you got to rebound. You got to keep block people out and get the rebound, even if it hits the floor.
Pace of the game was Alabama's pace the entire time. It's a team that likes to milk the clock. They want to keep it in the low 60s. They kept LSU to 66. And again, down the stretch, Antonio Blakeney, back-to-back turnovers. 3 consecutive. They score 8 to 9 points off of that in game win time. That's your best player. And it's just, this is bad. Just bad.
It's bad, Jordy, and I don't know how, we can't paint it any other way.
No.
You know, Johnny Jones, he makes some lineup changes, shuffles some minutes playing in A&M the other night, who, by the way, got beat on the road by Mississippi State today, and it didn't work, got clocked by A&M. At least they were in this thing with 4, 5, 6 minutes to go. And whatever buttons Johnny Jones is pushing is having no effect at this point in time. It's unfortunate. It's sad. And, Jordy, it's what do you do?
You got to play it out and move on. It's that's all you can do. Now, this was the easy part of the schedule. Now you've got to go on the road, back-to-back games at Auburn, at Arkansas.
Then Florida comes in.
And then Florida comes here. You still have to go to Kentucky, so it's not going to get any prettier. I don't know what else you do. You soul search, you do whatever you can. But here again, it just appears to me that this is a team that fully expects something inopportune to happen to them. And when it does, they don't have that pushback to fight through it. They accept it as the norm. And that's not a good thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, and
again, I think they've got athletes. I'm not so sure what kind of basketball players they've got, to be brutally honest.
No, you've made that comment for several weeks now, and I agree with you. We saw a nice athletic move near the end of the game, under the bucket, Sampson, a little reverse layup thing. But, I mean, again, I don't know how to paint it, and I'm not worried about being nice, but it's broke. It's broke.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all.
And even in the first half, when it was 33-28, Tigers led by 5 at half, I'm going back and forth with a couple of friends who, were like, is that really offense? Is that really defense? I mean, it's just, and it's easy to be critical when things aren't going good. I'll admit that. Yeah. It's easy to criticize when it's not going good, but our job is to sit here and tell you what we think, what we're seeing. We're not in the locker room. You've been to some practices, but probably not this week, if I'm jumping out on a limb there.
Good night.
And so, I mean, it's just, I told you earlier, Jordy, you're a former player, your blood, sweat, and tears are out there on that floor, tremendous amount of success as a team and individually.
Painful.
And it has to be tough for you and Rudy Macklin and Ethan Martin, all the guys you played with, to look at that kind of stuff. Because I heard Rudy on your radio show earlier this week. I mean, somebody's got to jump up in that locker room and say, we can't let this happen anymore.
This is not acceptable.
That was the word he used. We cannot do this anymore. Now, the flip side of the coin is they're not capable of being any better than they are. But then that falls back to Coach Jones. He's in his 5th year as head coach. This is his players.
Plenty of time.
It's not like this is,
opportunity to get players, to have your system put in place. I still don't know what their system is, what they're trying to do. They're still trying to figure things out now. There's 16 games into the season, and it's not working.
Jordy, text message question, did they quit again? Everybody will acknowledge they pretty much quit at A&M.
I don't think they quit.
You know what?
I hate to use that word.
Let me say that. I hate to use the word choke in sports. I have used it when I think it's appropriate. Some people view it as a very cruel, harsh term. I think there's been cases over the years in different sports when guys have choked or teams have choked. Same thing with the quit thing. That's a pointed comment. I do believe they quit and mailed it in against A&M the other night when they were way down.
Yeah.
Today, Did they quit in the last 5-6 minutes with all the turnovers? And that one time me and you were watching and Alabama beat them down the court. Guy dunks the ball. Okay, he's going to dunk the ball. Nobody from LSU even got in the picture till well after he landed. If you didn't quit, you're running down there because maybe he misses the dunk. That has happened before. Maybe he stumbles trying to go up. We've seen all that. But they didn't even care. They're like, okay, he's got the dunk. And then somebody took their pleasant time to get down there to throw it in. They mailed it in at the very end of that.
Again, for 34 minutes, they were competitive. They were in it. Then all of a sudden, lapses. I've said this. This is a team, in my humble opinion, that needs to see the ball go through the net to be effective. That's not what really good teams are all about, because sometimes that net doesn't, that goal looks awfully small, and you rely on defense. This is a team that needs to feel good about how they're playing by seeing the ball go through the net. That's an immature team. They come back on the defensive end. Well, that ball wasn't dropping late, and their lapses defensively became bitterly apparent. You go inside, you kick it out, the three-point line is wide open, you dribble drive, nobody steps in to help.
All right,
it happens again.
We got a lot more. Last week we began the spring version of the Pelican Sports post-game show. So let's bring you up to speed in case you're just jumping in today. We're going to be here after LSU basketball. Next week we start at 9:30 p.m. How about that one, huh? But we're going to be here. But in the spring post-game show, kind of like we do in the fall, we're going to talk about all the spring sports. Alabama gymnastics got beat last night by the #1 team in the land, D.D. Bros Lady Tiger Gymnastics.
Ashley Natt with a perfect
10 on the vault. That's
Sweet.
Outstanding. As baseball and softball get here, we'll talk about that. Spring football, right now, the recruiting, the big visits on campus this weekend at LSU. We've got some other stuff for you on football tonight. Obviously, with signing day comes up February 1st. Spring practice, dates haven't been released yet. So the spring version of the Pelican Sports postgame shows a little bit of everything. And obviously, LSU basketball. There's a lot of people frustrated, a lot of people upset. Probably will be a coaching change at the end of the year. We don't know that for certain. Nothing's been said by LSU. One would think that's going to happen. We're on radio. We're on TV. TV repeats on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Like we do with football, you get a little rebroadcast on Sunday mornings. We'll also put it up on the YouTube page, too, where you can watch it at your convenience. Because, again, obviously basketball is struggling, but this show is designed to be about basketball and everything else in the spring. So just giving you a little update of what you got here. Next Saturday, after the Arkansas game, we'll be on at 9:30 p.m. It's a 1-hour show, radio, TV. We take phone calls. We take text messages. That's what you got. In fact, when we're going to take a break, when we come back, we're going to go to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center, visit with Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com, get his thoughts on the game. He was there. We'll continue with more of the Pelican Sports postgame show on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com and CBS Sports Radio. Stay with us. Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment. 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology and our highly trained staff, have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-404-0966. 800-404-0966.
We continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. We go live and direct to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Brian, good afternoon. How are you?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Good, except for the last 5 or 6 minutes of that ball game. I took a look. It was at the 5-minute mark. It was tied at 56. At the 3-minute mark, it was 67-56. They go on a 11 zip run. What happened in your opinion?
Well, the game's tied. Riley Norris hits a 3. LSU misses a shot. Riley Norris hits another 3. So that really, and that was about a 1-minute span there, and it went from tie game to Alabama up 6. And you knew right then and there that LSU, it was going to be tough for LSU because they had been having trouble scoring. And it got worse. The run went to 11-0, and the game was over. Look, one thing about the game today, Alabama did a great job on Antonio Blakeney. Took him out of the game. He only got 11 shots.
Yeah.
He was 4 for 7, scored 11 points. So if you only get 11 points out of Blakeney, you're going to be in trouble. Their other good scorer is Brandon Sampson, and you only got 7 from him. So if you only get a total of 18 points from Blakeney and Sampson, you're going to be in trouble.
Blakeney looked very frustrated at the end. Back-to-back turnovers down the stretch that only helped increase the lead. He's tried everything, but here again, down the stretch, it just seemed like they anticipated something was going to happen, and when it did go against them, they had no way. It was like they opened up Hoover Dam and the water kept coming. They couldn't stop it.
Yeah, looking here at LSU's possessions there after it was 56-56, you had a missed shot by Skylar Mays, a turnover by Blakeney, a missed three-pointer by Sampson. Let's see. And then you had, and by that time you're down 11. So I mean that's, you had 3 empty possessions, and Alabama came down and scored 4 straight times. 3 of them being 3-pointers. 2 by Riley Norris and 1 by Corbin Collins. You'd have to be a real LSU basketball fan to remember Collins.
Yes.
He played 1 year, played his freshman year at LSU in Johnny Jones's first season, but he wasn't signed by Johnny. He was signed by Trent Johnson, and then, remember Trent left late for TCU, so he was already signed when Johnny took over. I was just checking. He played 9 minutes a game as a freshman, scored 3 points a game, so he barely played. And after that season, he transferred to Morehead State, got out a year, played 2 years at Morehead, and then has transferred to Alabama as a graduate, so he was immediately eligible for his 5th season this year at Alabama. Season high 24 points today. He's their backup point guard. was 7 of 11 on threes. And here's again, Alabama's averaging about 6.5 threes per game, and they got 10 today. So once again, here's another team that, makes shots from the perimeter against LSU.
I hate to say it, but they far superseded their per-game average point-wise. LSU didn't give up 90, but they gave up more than Alabama is normally used to getting. What was the reception of the crowd early, middle, late, in your estimation?
It was good. I don't think you heard no booing or anything like that down the stretch when things got out of hand. I think the people that come to the game are they're the die-hard basketball supporters, so I don't think they're going to turn on this team.
Right.
And look, the first 5 games of the schedule, we thought were going to be pretty easy. Though you look at it now, Alabama's at 3-1 and Mississippi State's at 3-1, and that's 2 of the teams have beaten LSU. But LSU sitting here at 1-4. They got 2 road games this week at Auburn and Arkansas, and then they come home to play Florida. So the next 3 games, not very easy at all. So I thought this week was a critical week for LSU, and I thought that if they would lose both games this week, things could really go into a downward trend, and I certainly see that happening now.
Ryan, after the game Wednesday night against A&M, a lot of fans, a lot of people thought they quit. They asked Johnny Jones that in a media session. We've got a couple of text messages in on a post-game show. It looked like they quit in the last 5-6 minutes today with that one time Bama got a dunk down the floor. Nobody from LSU even got in the TV picture until well after the guy was back on the ground and heading back down court. Your eyeball test, you were in the arena. What did you see? Did the effort sustain itself?
No, I think the effort was pretty good. I think you have talking to the players 2 days ago, I think you got a frustrated and confused group of guys. I don't think any of them thought, I don't think they thought they were going to be world beaters, but I don't think they thought that they were going to be in this shape where they are right now. They have lost 3 straight home games, 3 straight home SEC games for the first time in 6 years. They've lost 3 straight games, 3 straight SEC games by double figures for the first time in 6 years. So we're seeing, the worst stretch of basketball since that 2011 season, which was Trent Johnson's 3rd team, and that team ended up 3-13 in the league. So, and that team started 3 freshmen. So things aren't looking good right now for Johnny and this LSU basketball program.
Brian, final question. You mentioned to Jordy and I when we were in the break that you thought it was a very nice crowd, perhaps the biggest actual of the year. That's a credit to the fans. Tip your hat to the fans for showing up. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Baton Rouge, no question about that. Team was coming off a pounding in College Station, so I think you got to give the fans some credit. And you said they were responsive. They were there when the game began.
Yeah, this is the first time, the students were back. And not that you had a bunch of students. You had, you've been having 15 or 20, and you may have had 100 or more than 100 today. And also I'm looking right now here after the game, you had a nice, 50 to 75 Alabama fans at least here that are still here. So, you had more than that. So, I think that helped boost the actual attendance a little bit today.
Ryan, it's very busy at TigerBait.com. Tell all our viewers and listeners what they're going to get at the website.
www.tigerbait.com. Obviously, basketball coverage, and most importantly, right now we're in the recruiting season crunch, and Mike will have the latest updates up there on the site. Check it periodically today and over the weekend. Big visit weekend for the Tigers.
Thank you very much, Brian. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Okay, talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
All right, LSU can't win in the PMAC, laid another egg. A late egg. That's a text message from down in Patterson, Louisiana. It's a late egg, but hey, you're at home. You got to win against Bama, okay? That's not Kentucky or South Carolina or Florida. That's Alabama, with all due respect.
Last 6 minutes are as important, if not more important, than the first 34. It does you no good to play 34 good minutes and 6 horrible minutes. And that's what LSU did.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. We're going to tell you all about the great things
Some
Mike
good
and his
news
staff
there.
have going on over there at Tremonti's. We'll do that when we return with more of the Pelican Sports post-game show. It's on the radio, it's on the TV, it's on YouTube mid-morning tomorrow. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan, Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name's Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal and she makes your dreams come true.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations. We continue with the post-game show. Tom and Baton Rouge, hang tight. We're going to get to you in just a minute. We know you want to talk, but we got to tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Oh, my. What a wonderful place for a lot of reasons. Jordy, give us the rundown.
12451 Old Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge. The phone number, 751-7665. Look, you can go to their website, tremontis.com. Rotisserie chickens, rotisserie baby back ribs. They've got jambalaya. They got everything you need. Their sausage is absolutely mouth-watering, delicious. Their homemade hamburgers will feed an army. They've got their pre-made meals, their lasagna, their crawfish fettuccinis, spinach madeleine, carrot soufflés, their stuffed bell peppers. Whatever you want, they've got it. They just sold a 21-year-old Macallan Scotch yesterday. So they've got great wines and elixirs there. Whatever you want, they've got it. Party platters for, hey, you want to watch, prepare for the Super Bowl and the NFL playoffs? They'll be closed tomorrow, but call them early at 751-7665. Get all your party platters. I know Mike took an order today for a Mardi Gras ball. They're going to go and cater it, deliver it to the River Center. Everything you need. They can do anything. and everything for you and yours.
And don't forget crawfish.
Yes.
Best crawfish in Baton Rouge. I can't wait. Every year I make a vow to eat more crawfish than I did last year.
You honor that
And one
vow.
look at me, you can see I usually succeed in that effort. Great stuff at Tremonti's. Appreciate Mike and the staff.
Yep.
Let's get to those phone lines. Tom in Baton Rouge. Tom, you're on the postgame show.
Thank you, TK. I enjoy your show, man.
Thank you.
I just want to one of the comments Jordy made earlier struck home with me. I know I was watching one of your favorite teams earlier today, Notre Dame. We're playing Virginia Tech, and what Jordy said was it struck home with me after watching their game. Notre Dame might have two athletes who can compare to what LSU puts on the court. But their basketball awareness and their IQ and their fundamentals are so much better.
It's obvious, isn't it? Yeah.
Than anything LSU can put on. And I told my wife after watching the LSU Texas A&M game the other night, it didn't matter who won. That was one of the worst fundamental games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was the lack of quality of basketball is just astounding in an SEC this year after you get past the top 2 or 3 teams.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jordy made a great point today, and it struck home with me. And I enjoy your show.
Thank you.
And I'll hang up and listen to y'all. Thank you.
I think he's talking about fundamental things, entry passes from the wing to the low post, throwing the ball to the side where the defender isn't, making a bounce pass instead of that lob pass. Simple little things that you learn from day one, or you should learn from day one. They're not executed.
You walked me right into it. I was going to say, Jordy, when we played bitty basketball, we learned it's the little things. Do them right, repeat it until it becomes a habit, becomes second nature. Do it right. This basketball team doesn't do a lot of things right, including the little things.
Brandon Sampson's a far more gifted athlete than I ever was or could be.
But he's not the basketball
player. I
player.
could beat him on the basketball court.
You'd still beat him. I think
I don't know about that,
I'm taking Holtberg -2.
Little things.
Let's go to Jim in Baton Rouge. Jim, you're on the postgame show.
Gordy, you said the Tigers was going to be good. You always say the Tigers is going to be good. They can't even play defense, yeah?
Okay.
You're right. They can't play defense. Bama's not known for offense.
Thank you,
Break
Jim.
down the game, Shay. You said they was going to be good.
Jordy, that means they're listening
I'll
to you.
always say they're going to be good. I'm hoping they're going to be good.
Well, because you sweated out there. You were part of that. You loved every minute of it.
Jim, it's easy from the cheap seats, baby.
I
It's
heard,
easy.
as I mentioned earlier, Rudy Macklin on your show the other day, you and him in the same signing class, great friends to this day. I could hear it in Rudy's voice. Known Rudy a long time, you know him better than I, that he didn't like what he was seeing, and it made him uncomfortable. He likes Johnny. He loves Johnny. Johnny's like his brother, but it's a disconnection somewhere.
It's a very difficult place to be when you really want someone to succeed, and then when they aren't, you have to be honest and forthright. The product on the floor is not good. The product on the floor is not indicative of what LSU basketball should be, and it's very painful to say it.
Let's go to Carl in Baton Rouge. Carl, you're on the postgame show.
Say, TK.
Carl the Cat, how are you, sir?
I'm good. This Huckberg, how are you, sir?
Hey, Carl, I'm good, man. You know what I notice about Carl? To this day, he always finds that camera.
Oh, he's a celebrity.
And he's always on TV.
He's a celebrity.
He's unbelievable. You are the man. Sad state of mind for the LSU Tigers basketball, man. Sad.
Oh, this ain't the LSU basketball I grew up with.
Yeah.
At all. Far from it. And it's not going to get any better.
What do you think happened? What do you want to see happen?
Man, I love Johnny to death. I mean, 2 years of this. I mean, not finishing out the season last year with the NIT bid and what's going on now. I mean, there might be a change coming.
Yeah, I think there will be. We don't know that for sure. It's
all
being
indications. All indications point that way
by a lot of people. And Carl, you made the point. I mean, it's not something you're used to, and you're a diehard Tiger fan. You support any and all sports out there. And there are many people like you that just going to support. Brian Lazar told us it's a very nice crowd.
Wait, stop there. Paid attendance is like 8,000. A nice crowd, LSU basketball. Maybe 5,000. That's not even half the building.
And that's not even.
That's unacceptable.
It's not even half of gymnastics.
No.
Now, granted, gymnastics is #1 in the country.
But that's not the way it should be. It shouldn't be. Look, People go to LSU football games come heck or high water because it's an event. There's only 6 or 7 of them a year. Plain and simple. And
good point.
Whether they win it or lose it, it's a party. Baseball, you got your stalwarts that go, and that's great. Basketball, you got your group, your hardcore, but if you win, they'll pack the place.
Right.
They'll pack.
We've
if
seen
you
that.
don't, they won't.
We've seen it. I've seen that
We've seen
place.
it for several phases. They packed it when Pete was there because Pete was the show. They packed it, fortunately, when I was there because we had really, really good teams. They packed it when John Brady had a couple of really, really good teams. But in between there, it's ooh, and right now it's
down.
It's right there. It's right there. Carl?
Well, it looks,
does that sum it up?
It look like every team that's struggling in the SEC gonna play LSU gonna have a game of the century against us.
Yeah, if Avery Johnson comes out and says that's the best second half we played all year long, I think I'm gonna throw up because everybody says it's the best game we've played.
Well, I think he did say it. I was watching the SEC network. I think he did say that.
Oh, of course.
Well, Jordy and I predicted
Of course.
that.
Par for the course.
No, Carl, I know, hey, it's tough on you. You're a diehard Tiger fan, as thousands and thousands and thousands of people are. And it's tough. And I don't know that there's a magic wand that can fix this thing, which is why I suspect there's going to be a coaching change when the season is over, which brings up another question. Do you wait till the end of the year? Do you do it in the middle of the year to kill a lot of conjecture flying around town? Obviously, it's a decision of Director of Athletics Joe Oliva. So it's on his desk. We're going to let him do what he wants to do.
I don't have an answer for that one.
But, I mean, I just want to see these guys, play well. I mean, like everybody else, but, man, some of these defensive laxes, just letting guys go up the court uncontested and not getting rebounds is mind-blowing.
You know, Carl, if somebody's better than you in basketball or whatever the sport, that can be accepted. But you can control your attitude and your effort at all times. All 40 minutes in basketball, all 9 innings in baseball, all 4 quarters in football, whatever. And I don't know that this team is attitude and effort. It wasn't there at A&M the other night. And even though they got beat and Bama separated a little bit late today, I don't think an attitude and an effort and a heart. Rudy Macklin used that. You got to have a heart. You got to want to compete. It wasn't there at the end.
Oh no, it don't seem like it was. I mean, a 30-12 run to end the game.
30-12 is what it was. Okay, now that's at home. That's not supposed to happen. You know, again, Carl, let me say it. If that was Kentucky or that was UCLA, you say, okay, the guys are just better than us. That's the way it goes. But Alabama is a borderline tournament team, if that.
You look at other teams and the way they play. You look at Duke versus Louisville. You look at a West Virginia. You look at a UCLA, and it's like a different stratosphere. I don't know. It looks like LSU's playing 8th grade basketball compared to them. They're so much more crisp. They move so much quicker. The ball moves. Players are moving. I go back.
Attitude and effort.
I go back to great athletes versus good basketball players. I think we got some athletes. I don't think we have good basketball players. Plain and simple.
I can see that.
All right, Carl.
All right, guys.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call.
Text message. Maybe LSU should have hired Avery Johnson in 2012. Bama will be tough in the future. Well, he's in his second year, so.
Look, this guy won an NBA championship. He won an NBA championship as a player. He got his Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals.
As a coach?
He knows what he's doing. He learned under Popovich. He learned under Ben Jobe. He's
2 greats.
He knows what he is doing, and because of his pedigree and his skins on the wall, he's going to get players. Now, the thing he has to battle, and I said this earlier, is the stigma of Alabama is a football school and a football school only. Well, if anybody can flip that, Avery Johnson can do it.
And in a way, that puts a little less pressure on him because all the focus over there is football. He's flying a little under the radar.
He's used to winning. He wants to be in the spotlight. He doesn't want to be football here and basketball here. He wants to be like that.
And that's why, if he succeeds, that will be why, because he's working relentlessly towards that going forward. So, anyway. It is what it is.
This is 2 weeks in a row. Well, what do people expect us to say?
They expect us to take a break and come back and talk a little football and a little gymnastics.
That'd be great.
How
That would
about
be great.
that?
That'd be great.
You vote for that?
I'm
I'll
all
vote for that.
in. I'm
hey,
all
we
in.
still welcome your phone calls.
That score
and your
says
text
it all.
Messages. 81-66, the final from the PMAC today. With Jordy Hultberg, I'm Tommy Kreisam. We're on CBS Sports Radio, WUBR 910 AM, Baton Rouge, smartphones, internet, and of course, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. On the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com, Cox Cable, AT&T Uverse. We're right back talking about some good stuff. Stay with us. Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology and our highly trained staff, have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
We continue with the Pelican Sports Postgame Show, the spring version. And as I've mentioned last week and a little bit earlier this week, we're going to hit everything that's happening in the spring. The focus is basketball, obviously, and it was not good again today. 81-66, Alabama wins. LSU now 9-7 overall, 1-4 in league play.
56-56, 5 minutes to go. Do the math. That's a 25-10 run.
I'm pretty good in math.
25-10 run down
Let's
the
talk
stretch.
about
That's
something
it.
good, Jordy. D.D. Bro. They take down number 9 Georgia 2 weeks ago at
On
the
the
PMAC.
road.
Then they go on the road Friday night
Coleman
against
Coliseum.
number 4 Alabama.
Beats them. Yep.
Beats Alabama.
And look, and the way they did
have
it,
cemented the number 1 spot in lady gymnastics.
The way they did it, Alabama was on the floor routine, their final exercise. LSU was on the beam, the most difficult. And don't think Alabama didn't plan it that way, but LSU Other than one little slip up, you drop the lowest score, you keep all the others, and they came through like a champ.
They had a perfect 10 on the vault.
She's good, that little Ashley Nat girl.
Perfect 10 on the vault. So Alabama, number 4 in the country, now 0-2. They lost to Oklahoma the first week. So you're probably stunned that I know this.
No.
But I read a few things.
You read up.
Well, no, because I know we're going
Dee Dee wants to keep them in the purple zone.
And I know on Saturdays we're going to talk about all the spring stuff, especially when you're the number 1 team in the country like
and look,
Dee Dee Bros squad is.
Dee Dee's worked 40th year as the head coach. Man. 40 years. And she has worked and worked and worked. And now she's become, because of the SEC network, and you've got the number 1 team in the country, she's becoming a mega star on their network. She's mic'd up. They're going into her closet looking at her clothes. Oh. She's everywhere.
I got my 40-year Holy Cross class reunion coming up in May. So she's been coaching since I got out of high school. That's amazing.
Unbelievable.
So a huge tip of the hat there. Jordy, busy weekend for the football team.
Recruits.
This weekend, the next 2 weekends, all leading up to the signing day, which is Wednesday, February 1. Tiger Gridiron Club will have the bash downtown at the Bella Baton Rouge Hotel Atrium. But football with some important visits. With some guys who aren't committed, some who are. They're trying to flip one. The biggest name, Chris Allen, the linebacker from Southern Lab, was supposed to visit Bama this weekend. He's in Baton Rouge. Doesn't mean he's changed his mind.
But it's a good sign.
Ed Orgeron and the staff are working on it. Matt Canada and Steve Ensminger went to Bay St. Louis the other night took the Brennan family to dinner.
Right.
I wonder if they went to one of the Brennan restaurants.
No. Look, there's two big recruits. Look, they're all big. There's 15.
Wilson.
There's 15. I think 8 uncommitted, 7 committed. You mentioned Chris Allen, and Marvin Wilson's the other, the 5-star, number 1 rated defensive line tackle in the country. They've got Tyler Shelvin from Notre Dame up in Crowley committed already. So you get those 2 big fellas together. Now that opens up the door for a linebacker that's committed to Oklahoma, and his name is passing me now. Phillips, I think it is, something like that. They have a chance, according to, and we talk recruiting a lot on the radio because that's what people want to hear. They have a chance to close this thing out. They're not going to pass up Alabama. They're not going to pass up Ohio State. But they could be 3rd in the country if the dominoes all fall into play in the proper fashion. They got a chance to finish very, very strong. And this makes the Bayou Recruiting Bash much more exciting than ever before because they could get upwards of 8 to 9 to 10 more commitments and signatures on that day. So that builds some excitement.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting at Tiger Gridiron Club Bash.
If it all falls into play.
Jordy, I read a thing the other day. In 2015, Microsoft did a survey. Now that we're in this social media world and the internet and the smartphones and all that, they determined that the average attention span in a human being now is 8 seconds, which is less than that of a goldfish.
What'd you say?
8 seconds. See, you lost me
What'd
already.
you say?
Hey, speaking of football.
That doesn't bode well for either of us. 8 seconds?
I know. I mean, gee. Man, that
we
means
have
they
great
got to watch us.
say.
They got to watch us like 62 times this program.
I don't wish that
But
upon
no,
anyone.
Speaking of football, it's all over. Clemson beats Bama. Everybody's talked about that. But based on some things that happened in that game, LSU statistically closed the stat book on the 2016 season. And we got some good news for the Tigers. We start with running back Darius Geis, Catholic High product. Only started 6 football games for LSU this year. And we're going to take a look at some numbers in just a minute. Darius Geis going to switch to number 7 next year. I don't know if that's got anything to do with Leonard Fournette or not, but Darius Geis finishes on top of the SEC in rushing yards with 1,387, all-purpose yards with 1,716, both leading the conference. First running back from LSU to lead the conference in rushing since a guy named Kevin Falk did it. Again, he's going to switch to number 7 next year. Only started 6 games. Jordy,
remarkable.
You hear football coaches say we got to have depth. We got to have a backup in case we get an injury. Leonard Fournette injured from August on. Look at the backup. He becomes the leading rusher in the conference starting 6 games.
It's 143 yards per game, all-purpose. Remarkable season. You just kind of wonder, where was he against Alabama?
2 carries. 2. Buddy Sanji's still not recovered from that.
And Leonard Fournette came out and said that, in hindsight, he got injured in fall camp.
In August, right.
In August. And what if you had sat him out of the opener against Wisconsin, and then you have Jacksonville State, okay? What if he's available against Auburn? 100%. Maybe something changes. Maybe Les Miles is still here. I mean, it's amazing what ifs and nuts and.
Well, and if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his butt. So I mean, there's lots of ways to go around that one. But certainly, Tiger fans can be happy that Darius Geis is back again. He'll wear number 7 next year. And I didn't read if he's doing that for.
I thought 5 was pretty good.
Or he just I don't know what he wore at Catholic High. I can't say that I can answer.
Question is who's going to be 18 next year? Wasn't Tre'Davious White 18 for 2 years in a row?
My guess, Christian Lacouture.
Really?
Guess. That's a guess.
Yeah,
I got no reason. That's a pure guess. I got no inside info.
Back to recruiting.
Well, wait, we got something else if you want to.
Well, just real quick. Lane Kiffin's gone from Alabama. They also lost one of their top recruiters in Mario Cristobal, who's going to be the co-offensive coordinator up at Oregon. So, right now, critical time with so many LSU, Alabama choices, down to those final 2. Maybe that pendulum will swing LSU's way because he's gone.
Now,
maybe.
When Clemson put 5 touchdowns on the board, including that one at the buzzer.
Again? Come on.
No, follow me here. That put it closed the stat book for 2016 football and put the LSU defense in a very good spot. Dave Aranda, everybody knows what he's done, allowed 16 touchdowns, which is the fewest in the nation. Only allowed 192 first downs. Keep in mind they played one less game than many people, and obviously the playoff teams because they only had 11 regular season, but number 3 in the nation, number 1 in the SEC with first downs allowed, held opponents to less than 33% on third down conversions, which was 2nd in the league, 12th in the nation. I think all the questions, everything about Dave Aranda, the dude knows what he's doing, and here's my message for LSU fans. You saw what he did with a couple of weeks to get ready for the Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson in Louisville, and they bottled him up, shut him down, basically took him out of the game. He got 25% of what they got that day was on one play, that 50-yard pass, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Now you have Dave Aranda, who's got his own book on Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Auburn. He's seen these SEC West teams, Florida, who they play every year. The only one he hadn't played is Tennessee, and they're not going to be any good. So I don't like Tennessee, if you can't tell, but or Butch Jones. But anyway, so I think LSU fans can find a comfort zone in that Aranda. You saw what he did when he had some time to get ready for Louisville. When now he's got some stuff in his brain about what the SEC teams do, and I think that bodes well going forward.
Yeah, and not to put any to dampen the light on that. LSU only played 12 games. Alabama played 15.
Right.
The last game, second to last game, Texas A&M did some damage
in the second half.
In the second half to that defense.
Kind of like Alabama today in the second half.
Look, no question about it. I think he is outstanding at what he does. He is tremendous at making adjustments within the game. Once the game starts, now the question is, can these players that have to fill in for those that have departed, have they developed to the point where they're ready to play SEC football? And that's the unknown.
Yeah,
that's the unknown.
They're going to close hard with recruiting. National Signing Day begins February 1. That's a Wednesday.
How, if you are, and I've said this, how if you're a linebacker, do you not come to LSU? One, your players want to play immediately. Sure. You're going to play immediately. Number 2, you're going to play for one of the best coaches in the business who took 2 and 3 stars and got them into the NFL. So he checks every box. Why wouldn't you come here? I don't get it. I don't get it.
When
They'll get theirs.
When you said that, it reminded me that the receiver from Clemson, Renfro, who caught the winning touchdown in 2 playoff games, he's got better numbers than any receiver ever in the 3 years of the playoff system. A 2-star walk-on. A 2-star.
But 35 of the 44 starters in that national championship game were 4 or 5 stars.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
It ain't the X's and O's, baby.
For the 2 stars, okay? Yeah. Here's Renfro, who kept working hard. Wouldn't be told he couldn't be on the field, whatever you want to go through all the old cliches there. And he's out there, and he's got more receptions, touchdowns, and yards than anybody in the 3-year history of the college football playoff.
And I think he got to walk on because of an LSU wide receiver who's transferred, Quinn?
The kid from Lake Charles, Barb.
Yeah. He was committed to Clemson, decommitted, came to LSU. That opened up a space, and they let him come walk on.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
Mr. Holtberg with the factoid of the day, huh?
Yes.
But anyway, so obviously LSU recruiting. All the other state schools are doing it. So it's going to be an interesting push down these couple of weeks. Check your favorite source. Many people follow recruiting far better than I. I'm on the surface. I got a couple guys I'll call if I got a question or whatever.
A couple of things down the pipeline with football. One, the Football Coaches Association agreed unanimously to get another coach on the sideline.
10 full-time.
10 full-time.
Paid full-time.
And they also agreed that they would like to have a earlier signing date in December, not June, but in December. After the conference championship games, let's have an early signing period then.
This must be ratified by the NCAA committee. This is just a coaches association led by Todd Berry, who was once the head coach at Louisiana Monroe.
Air Force too, right?
Yeah. So it's still got some hoops to jump through. And now Mark Emmert comes out and says he wants 8 teams in the playoffs. So you got a lot of stuff happening in the college football world.
That, huh?
In the college football world, even though they closed the book on the field action, LSU opens September 2nd against BYU over in Houston. Yep. Houston, the site of the Super Bowl.
How many home games are they actually going to have? Because Florida's been transferred. BYU is a neutral site. Six.
Yeah.
Not a very good appealing schedule. Is it?
Yeah, 6. Is it 7?
I don't think it's 7.
But there's only 3. Yeah, it's got to be 6.
Yep.
3 non-conference, 3 league, because BYU's the road.
And one or two of them's going to be some dogs, right?
Chattanooga.
Something like that.
Somebody else comes in. I have the schedule in the other room. That's a good place for it. You ever been to a Super Bowl?
Many of them. Tulane Stadium.
Okay.
New Orleans.
Are you going? I think you're going this year because you can get Johnny Manziel's autograph for $99. So I think Jordy's going. We're going to take our final break, come back, put a wrap on it. Bama wins 81-66.
$99 is all.
And you can get a picture for another $99. Does he think anybody's going to do that? Like, who's going to pay him? I'll leave it there. We'll come back, wrap up this week's edition of the Pelican Sports Postgame Show, radio, TV. Jordy Helper, Tommy Krysan, stay with us. Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Here at Juvamie Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support, along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Recapping today, radio, TV, the post-game show. Next week, we're here Saturday night, 9:30 p.m., following the matchup with Arkansas up in Fayetteville. Wednesday night, 7:30 tip at Auburn. Of course, we'll have Tigers Roar going for you on Wednesday night. We'll keep you posted. Johnny Jones still drawing a paycheck. That's a question mark on the text machine, text messaging. I say apathy is setting in. Nobody's mad anymore. I'm just reading some of the text messages that we're getting here on the program. Appreciate you guys calling and texting. And, of course, we are on WUBR, 9:10 a.m. You got the TuneIn app. You can get it 24/7, the CBS Sports Radio stuff, including Jim Rome. Get Jordy Hultberg, myself, Buddy Sanji, Dave Scandaliato on Fridays at 5 p.m. Carlos Brown on Saturday mornings through the night. You get Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio. Get that TuneIn app. Go to that computer. Go to tunein.com. Either way, search WUBR. I got it in the big red letters for you, and you'll have us. Mark it as a favorite. We're good to go. Jordy, you're on the air Monday through Friday in the afternoons in the Lafayette market. Tell the folks.
103.7 FM. The Game, Acadiana's sports station. Look, basketball, they lose by 15. Here's the deal. Alabama shoots 28% in the first half. They shoot 52% in the second half. LSU turned the ball over 18 times. Bama got 25 points off of those turnovers. And then offensive rebounds, they were out-rebounded, 13 second chance points, put it all in the barrel. LSU's defense falters down the stretch, and another big loss. And three straight losses at home.
And as I mentioned,
double digits.
2 road games coming up at Auburn Wednesday, at Arkansas Saturday. We're on the air 9:30 p.m. 1 week from tonight. And then Florida comes to Baton Rouge that following Wednesday, which would be the 25th.
Florida won in overtime today.
Florida won. A&M, who clocked LSU the other night, got beat in Starkville by 6 or 7 or 8 points, something like that today.
Road is not fair. Road is not fun.
It's done. Alabama 81, LSU 66. Johnny Jones is stabbed back to the old drawing board. Hey, they got to dig deep. They got to come up with something and try to change a mindset in a hurry. You're not the only person I've heard say there's a chance they don't win another game. And I don't know if Missouri comes here later. I don't know. They're not real good, but I don't know. The way this team's playing, I don't know. It's just a lot of work to do. It's unfortunate. Johnny's a good guy, dear friend of yours. I've known Johnny for years, but it's just not working right now.
Not right now, it's not. And you keep hoping something good will happen. And something good happened today. They
up by 5
lead at halftime.
Nice crowd on hand, tip of the hat to the fans.
But down the stretch, turnovers, inopportune turnovers, offensive rebounds, the little things that you have to take control of, they weren't able to do so. And I know it's frustrating for all of us that follow LSU basketball, that love LSU and everything they do. I pull for them in tiddlywinks. It's very difficult right now, and I feel for them. I really, really do. I don't know what else to say.
All right, I got something to say. Quick update. Atlanta 26, Seattle 10. Falcons putting it on them over in the Georgia Dome. Maybe there'll be another game in the Georgia Dome. That's late third quarter. 6 minutes ago, third quarter. And again, LSU Gymnastics with the win last night over Alabama on the road over in Tuscaloosa. D.D. Bros team ranked number 1 in the land, 2-0. How about that for some numerology for you? Backing it up a little bit, we want to thank Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com for joining us from the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. He'll certainly do that with us in the spring post-game show on the home games, road games. We'll try to figure something out on that. We do appreciate the response last weekend, this week. As you know, the post-game show's been around for 10 years in football. We're jumping into the spring here, so we appreciate you folks talking about it, telling it, following us on Facebook, Twitter, the YouTube page, all that good stuff. I guess it all helps a little bit. Jordy Hultberg, as always, good job. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend.
I'm watching football now.
Yeah, a lot of NFL. A lot of people it takes to put this show together. We appreciate all the hard work of many people. Most importantly, we thank you for watching. on television, or listening on the radio, and telling people what we're doing here at Pelican Broadcasting. On behalf of Jordy Holberg, I'm Tommy Christ saying thank you for watching and listening. We will talk to you again soon.
Take care.